Welcome to the 2022 Graduate Student Research Symposium and Awards Ceremony. This is an outstanding event each year. It culminates a lot of hard work by the students and also mentorship from their faculty, advisors, and support from their other graduate students that's helped them along the way as well. I hope everybody's enjoyed the poster presentations, and here earlier today you saw a bunch of our future graduate students. There were 72 undergraduate posters presented earlier this afternoon. Got a few introductions I'd like to make before we get started. First, I'd like to thank the facilities and Chartwells for providing getting the facility ready and providing us our snacks and our drinks back here. We give them a round of applause for taking care of us. Probably more importantly, I'd like to introduce the staff that's taking care of this event. I'm standing up here talking about it, and somebody thinks I'm taking credit for it, but I promise you I am not. From over in student research, the lady that's taking care of putting all this together that most all of you as students know very well, Elizabeth Randall. Thank you for all of your hard work. Not with us this evening is also in the Office of Sponsored Projects was Katie Plum, and then the young lady helping us, standing back here in the back, that's helping us out here this evening all afternoon is Jan Hyman. Thank you very much. Then forward to College of Graduate Studies and Research Office, we have helping us up here on the stage, the director of over in the graduate school is Chelsea Maria. She'll be helping us with the word of the words. Also, we have Angela Allen and Melissa Castillo from over in the graduate school. Thank you all for being here. And not with us this evening is Amanda Martinez. I'd also like to introduce a couple of our administrators that are here with us this evening. We have Dr. Topeth, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dean of the College of Science and Engineering, Dr. Paul Sweats. Our Dean of the College of Education, Scarlett Klaus. Thank you all for being here and supporting the work of our faculty and our students. So moving forward from here, just a couple of house cleaning items. Obviously, I think we all hear it every time, but I've got to say it. If everybody silence your cell phones so we don't interrupt some of our presentations. Most of our awardees are able to be here with us this evening, but we do have several that will be receiving awards in absentia because, as Dr. Rallo put it, they are in, some of them head or are in undisclosed locations around the world because they are active military. So for those, we will go ahead and we will have a presentation of their work and their nomination as they go through. Each of our nominators received a list, and so we'll work through that list and let the individual nominators present the awards to their students as we go through. And at the end of this evening, everybody that's received an award will stick around and we want to take a group picture with everybody before you leave here this evening. So without any further ado, we'll get to the awarding of the Outstanding Graduate Student Awards. And we'll start with the Archer College of Health and Human Services. Instead of me introducing each other, I'm going to just step out of my level.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Denise Goddard from the Department of Nursing at Archer College. And so it is my honor to introduce to you Nicole Smith. She's a student in the Master of Science in Nursing program, Family Nurse Practitioner track. She'll be graduating in August of this year. She could not be here this evening to accept her award, as she is one of our frontline nurses and is covering one of our area emergency departments this evening. Nicole exhibits excellence in research, community service, and academic pursuits. She's presented her research findings at a rural healthcare facility to inspire change and to facilitate improvements in individuals and system process. She served as a member on a hospital research committee and on a committee to improve the nursing orientation process. She presented just recently last month at a statewide multidisciplinary conference in which she educated others on the use of technology to address racial and social justice issues in the healthcare system. She has a strong track record of community service as she continually seeks and promotes the latest research on evidence-based practice to disseminate to others for best practices related to healthcare. She serves as an educator for the emergency department. She excels in her academic studies and exceeds expectations with her graduate coursework. She has a 4.0 GPA in her graduate studies, earned while working as a nurse, as an ER nurse, on the front lines during the COVID pandemic, and maintained a 4.0 GPA. She will be applying her academic knowledge to the clinical setting as a nurse practitioner to improve the health of Texas citizens. And she's going to be an outstanding representative as an ASU alumni. So congratulations, Nikki.
Next, from nurse educators will be Dr. Tammy Stafford.
I am here to present Sarah McKinnon for nurse educator. Sarah could not be here with us this evening because her brother is getting married this weekend, so she said she better go to the wedding instead of coming here. I completely understand. So it is with great pleasure that I nominate Sarah McKinnon for the Outstanding Graduate Student in the category of Academic Excellence. As a graduate student over the past 2 years, Sarah has exhibited responsibility and professionalism in her studies at ASU and has maintained a superior academic standing. She has sustained a GPA of 3.36, once again, much like our other nominee, while working through a COVID pandemic, and has maintained her GPA throughout her coursework. Faculty colleagues who are familiar with her efforts have been impressed by her diligent work ethics and professionalism. In addition to her academic prowess, Sarah has worked effortlessly to apply her knowledge to the nursing profession. She has used the knowledge and skills that she has learned during her time here at ASU to influence the education of students. She teaches in the Howard College Licensed Vocational Nursing Program. However, because of Sarah's diligent work, Sarah was asked to begin teaching in the Howard College Associate's Degree RN program this past semester. So she is once again influencing the education of the future nurses coming to the front lines. She will graduate in a couple of weeks in May. And one of the great things to know about Sarah, she has been accepted into the Doctoral of Nursing Practice program at Texas Tech, which she will get about a week and a half break before she begins her doctoral studies. Thank you.
Our next presenter will be Dr. Laura Wilson from the Department of Physical Therapy.
Today I'm introducing on behalf of the Physical Therapy Department a very deserving student, Selena Woodham. I've had the pleasure of teaching her over the past 2 years, and as with all the best students, I've learned from her as well. I've learned from her through her excellent questions, which sometimes I've had to answer with, let me just get back to you on that later. And I've also learned from her as she's shared her own lived experience with me of being a patient after she had a stroke in 2017. She has excelled in every area within our program, including the classroom where she has a 4.0 GPA, the clinic where she has consistently received high marks from clinical instructors, and research where she's worked as a research assistant in our diabetes lab, participated as a subject for multiple PT department research efforts, and conducted and published research regarding the efficacy of balance training for fall reduction. She's also a member of the Angelo State chapter of the Honor Society of Phi Kappa Phi, where she was awarded the Love of Learning Award in 2020. It's my pleasure to introduce Selena Woodham.
Dr. Toffler told me that since I was the only one 5 years ago when we did this last, that went under a minute, I could have an hour, so pace yourself. The gentleman that we have nominated is Major Tom Colston, who unfortunately can't be here. He's on his way to be redeployed over to Japan. When he started our program, he was a captain. He is now a major and a battalion leader, and quite possibly the best written communicator that I have seen in my 15 years here with the grad program. We've worked with him on getting ready to do several publications and the like, and hopefully that will come to fruition. He has 3 credits to go before he finishes. Hopefully he goes back safely. His goal, believe it or not, is to become a college football coach, as he believes there's a crossover between military background and the way athletics is run. His favorite quote was, "Football is like life. It requires perseverance, self-denial, hard work, sacrifice, dedication, and respect for authority," by Vince Lombardi. And then he threw in, that's very similar to the military. The other thing he's done that is just mind-boggling, we have a requirement called the 11% rule, where all of our graduate students are required to do community service, the ones that are here with us. He actually has been doing this basically long distance at the military base, which is really, really impressive, going above and beyond. The neat thing is his current class, he's doing an internship in military recreation through MWR while he's taking classes and being a battalion leader. One of the neatest guys that, unfortunately, I've never met him individually, but we have talked on the phone and we have texted back and forth. He has won more awards than anybody I know. In my background, I'm an old man, I've been around a while, in the military, and just some of them that I would like you to know about him. He was the Navy Commendation Award medal winner, Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Good Conduct Medal twice, Humanitarian Service Medallion for Sea Service twice, the Department Employee 4 times, National Defense Medal of Honor, Armed Forces Expeditionary, sorry I slur, and the Certificate of Appreciation for Outstanding Service above and beyond military service. One of the neatest guys. I wish he was here that you could all meet him. And Tom, if you actually wanted to think about it, we could call him Major Tom, and then it would be a throwback to the Rock Hopper by the Bull. But if not, we'll just congratulate Major Tom.
Our next introduction will be done by Dr. Drew Curtis from Psychology.
All right, good evening. The MS Counseling Psychology program demands not only academic excellence, but also professional competencies. So with that, many of our students commit about 15 to 20 hours a week outside of class while we're working on their clinical skills and competencies, in addition to the academic coursework, their vocation, and life demands. It's my great pleasure and privilege to recognize our outstanding graduate student, Anna Schneeman, who's been an exemplary student. Anna has been an active researcher, presenting her work at psychology conferences. We've recently worked together to submit an article for publication in a premier psychology journal. She's demonstrated remarkable clinical skills in the classroom and at her practicum. She served as our graduate student ambassador and done this all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA and achieving great success as a student athlete in tennis. So Anna is dynamic, well-rounded. Her skills are unmatched on the tennis court and in the research lab. Simply, she's just a kind, compassionate, and interpersonally delightful person. A better person for knowing her, and I know she's going to continue to serve our community and the world through all of her psychotherapy services and services for mental health. So congratulations, Anna. Thank you.
Okay, our next introduction will be from major in experimental psychology, Dr. Stephen Lynn.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor to present Maya Rodriguez as an outstanding graduate student in research excellence, particularly in the MS Experimental Psychology program. Maya earned her undergraduate degree in psychology with a minor in philosophy at Texas A&M International University, majoring in psychology. She's a second-year student in our MS Experimental Psychology program with an emphasis in behavioral neuroscience. She has proven herself to be an excellent student and a stellar researcher throughout her time here at Angelo State. Maya has been involved in numerous research projects throughout her time here at ASU. These have ranged from exploring human trafficking, student responses to COVID-19, perceptions towards individuals with disabilities, as well as exploring the effects of lion's mane, which is a medicinal mushroom, on a tau mouse model of Alzheimer's disease. During her time here at ASU, she has gained skills in not only animal work, but also human research, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA and serving as the Vice President and President of the Graduate Student Research Organization here on campus. Her time at ASU has prepared her very well to continue on to a PhD program at this is a long one, University of Texas, MD Anderson, UT Health Science Center, Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences in Houston, where she aims to continue researching Alzheimer's disease. Now, this one was the one she chose, even though she did get accepted to 2 other PhD programs, one at the University of Miami and one at UC Davis. So I am very proud of Maya, and I'm very excited to be the one to present her for this honor.
Our next introduction will be made by Dr. Brenda Gregg. And unfortunately, she is unable to be here, so I'll read the citation about her nominee, Noah Holly, who was also unable to attend. His majors in applied psychology with thesis. Noah completed his thesis project last August, which was entitled Perceived Group Cohesion and Its Relationship with Individual and Team Performance in Sports. Accomplishing this work as an online student is commendable and requires great self-determination. The presentation of this project, along with the design and execution of the study, impressed the committee. During his time at ASU, Noah also worked as an athletic performance coach and substitute teacher. He is currently pursuing an additional master's degree in inspired teaching and learning. Noah Holly. Now for the College of Arts and Humanities, we'll start with the Department of Communication and Mass Media. Nominated by Dr. Herman Howard, who was unable to attend this evening, is Jan Chitsey, whose majors in communication. Ms. Chitsey has excelled as both a graduate assistant and teaching assistant within her academic department. As a teaching assistant, Ms. Chitsey provides feedback and critique through a mentoring and service method that encourages students in public speaking. In this way, she has set the standard in regards to work ethic and professionalism. In addition, Jan serves as a volunteer with the Children's Advocacy Center. I can add one other piece. As a teaching assistant, my daughter had her in class and bragged about her all the time as well. So, Jan Chitsey. Okay, from the Department of Security Studies and Criminal Justice, Dr. Rollo will be presenting these nominees. He has the next 2.
Thank you, Dean Salisbury, and it's my pleasure and my honor to present you with 2 of our outstanding graduate students. And as a retired Air Force officer myself, I understand the reason for their absence, and I hope that you also understand as I go through their bios. The first is Dennis Tukiev, who is nominated for the Leadership Excellence Award and is a master's student in our global Cal State Sacramento, where he dual majored in international relations and geographical information systems. He graduated in 2017 as a distinguished graduate of the Geography Department, awarded only to the top 5% of students. Fluent in Russian, now first lieutenant 2PF, completed the intelligence program at Goodfellow and was then assigned to Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany as a regional analyst. He currently serves in a deployed location as a senior intelligence officer analyzing violent extremist threats in the area. He is also likely involved in the current Ukrainian mission. He also directly supported Operation Allies Refuge, the largest humanitarian non-combatant evacuation in U.S. history, which took place in Afghanistan. So Dennis Tupia. Our second awardee is Christian Ferguson. Christian was nominated for the award in academic excellence and community service and is a master's student in our intelligence and analysis program. Christian is a German immigrant to the United States and completed his bachelor's in international relations at the University of Arkansas in 2013. Now Captain Ferguson, he is stationed in Germany as the Deputy Exercise Director and NATO Liaison to assist in planning activities to include intelligence integration into various allied exercises and simulations. And he is also most likely involved in the current Ukrainian mission. Christian was also actively engaged in assisting Afghan refugees who arrived at Ramstein Air Force Base after the evacuation of Kabul. And in his spare time, he became a volunteer to aid the elderly who could not leave their homes during the COVID pandemic. So I give to you, Captain Christian Ferguson.
Okay, our next introduction will be done at Valley Department of English and Modern Language, Dr. Allison Duchesne.
Ashley is an outstanding student in the master's program in English. Her scholarly work, when she came in, she was interested in pursuing research in literary studies that addresses issues of social justice and equality, basically taking an understanding of literature of the past and through teaching and writing about it, helping us understand problems that face our present, with a particular focus on gender studies, disability studies, and class and racial issues. Most importantly, though, our TAs in our department don't just assist with courses, they actually serve as instructors of record for English 1301, which is a really important course. It's the course that all students have to take that introduces them to academic writing. So she went through a rigorous training program and preparation and taught sections of that course on her own, both in the fall and in the spring, which is particularly notable this year because she had to do that facing all of the challenges that we know have been so difficult, the constant pivots back and forth with technology and rules and such that came with the COVID pandemic. So she not only navigated her own time as a student on top of that, but helped students that were new to the university through that process as well. So, Ashley.
Our next nomination from the North Vincent College of Business will be introduced by Dr. Ruben Cabellas.
It's my pleasure to introduce our nominee for Gabriel Hidalgo Marquez for our Outstanding MBA Student Award. Gabriel comes to us by way of Parquesitimo, Venezuela, and he did his undergrad at the University of Texas in Tyler, who was part of the honors program, summa cum laude marketing graduate, and he's now here with us as an MBA student, as well as a GA, graduate assistant coach for our Bells tennis team, who's actually competing, well, unfortunately they lost, I believe, yesterday, to his alma mater, UT Tigers. So that was kind of poetic justice on his part. But Gabriel is a bright and distinguished student who possesses great character, integrity, and dedication to everything he does. I can honestly say that he exemplifies the criteria that are considered for this award. Gabriel is an excellent student, having achieved a perfect 4.0 GPA in all of his coursework to date. He is a model student and possesses the characteristics we seek for MBA students to have. He's not only, as I mentioned before, an academic star, but he's a member of the ASU women's tennis team, coaching staff. His character and work ethic are a perfect example of our ASU core values. I believe that Gabriel is very truly worthy of this award, and it's hard to shine in an online program. So when you do, you're really going above and beyond. So I'd like to give him a big round of applause. Sorry, I was doing I actually didn't know this student, which is great. Daniel Dixon, he was actually my strategic management class. Great individual. Mr. Dixon has a sincere and honest work ethic, as well as a high level of intellectual curiosity. He effectively leads and guides his peers doing group work and is always willing to assist other students. During his time at ASU, Daniel has exemplified our core values in working with several local businesses as a part of the Small Business Development Center's business plan competition. Upon graduation, Daniel plans to sit for his state CPA exam. I've had the pleasure of having him in my class. As I mentioned before, strategic management, we do a simulation where we put everybody in teams and they have to compete in terms of running a company. And I can tell you his team has so far been the best one I've had in 4 semesters of doing that. So congratulations to him.
Our next college will be the College of Education. Our first introduction will be Dr. Kristen Lyons.
Hi, everybody. It is my pleasure to introduce and share a little bit about Dorothy Allison Camp with you this evening. Our master's program is in mental health and wellness counseling, and it's designed to provide a broad-based learning opportunity for a multitude of careers in the helping profession. Allison was one of our first students in the program and has been a poster child for our program, and as well as the type of student that we want to represent ASU. She came into the mental health and wellness counseling program and had an established professional identity. As you can see, she's actually, she is a coach, she is a teacher, she's also in the career counseling. And as you can see, anytime you go on to win the state championship, that's a lot of dedication. If you've been in coaching, which I was in that profession, that is a huge accomplishment at this college prep school where she is. So in that, she came in with a professional identity and saw the potential to further her growth and learning in the career that she was currently in, where she could serve her students and her athletes, but also serve those in her career counseling position as well. Her commitment to learning and dedication to her academics has been outstanding. Not only do I brag on her work, but I've also received emails from many other instructors bragging on the quality of her work and the level of creativity she brings to our courses and how she applies what she learns to all of the different areas that she serves in. The level of work in her courses demonstrates her admirable self-discipline, diligence, integrity, innovative thinking, professionalism, and remarkable leadership skills. Alice is an exceptional student who has a work ethic far beyond what is seen in a lot of our today's students. Therefore, I'm extremely honored to be able to present and receive, in a way, for Allison tonight as the nominee for the Mental Health and Wellness Counseling Outstanding Student.
Next introduction will be done by Tia Hagan, as Dr. Murphy was unable to be with us.
Thank you. So yes, Master of Education in Student Development and Leadership in Higher Education, who was selected because of her outstanding service in the community. Her combination of service within the program and her work at Dallas College and to the Dallas community made her a standout among her peers, is what Dr. Murphy has written. And she has quite a stellar list here of things that she's accomplished, but the student is Carmen McIver. And just to tell you a little bit about her, you might have met her when she was doing her poster presentation out in the foyer out there on her work related to LGBTQ students of color. It was a phenomenal presentation, and her work in that is groundbreaking. In her professional role at Dallas College, she has helped with the development of the inaugural Office of Inclusive Excellence, where she has focused on support and services for formerly incarcerated students, student parents, LGBTQ, and women of color. So she's doing great things at her college and for the community of Dallas. In March, she also participated in the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators Annual Conference, which is NASPA. And at that conference, she was selected for the NASPA Fellowship Award, which is a big honor for her. She told me that when she got the letter that she had wanted, she had to make sure it was for her, and she even wanted to call them and say, "Are you sure?" And yes, they were sure, because she's so phenomenal and doing such great work out in the field. In her spare time, Carmen is committed to community efforts such as For Oak Cliff, which is an organization dedicated to the elimination of systemic oppression in the Dallas area. Very well deserved for this outstanding award. So please help me welcome outstanding graduate student for SDL, Carmen McIver.
Our next introduction from the College of Education will be Kenzie Hansen.
I'm so excited to introduce Hannah Godfrey as an Education Administration outstanding student. Typically when I write letters, it takes me a long time. I have to think about the content, really articulate the words, and make sure that what I'm trying to say is actually what I'm saying in the written form. But with my letter for Hannah, it was very different. The words seemed to flow effortlessly because I had example after example after example of how incredible this student is. You know, pursuing your graduate degree is hard on its own. And then I really started to think about the work that Hannah has done. She started her program, and shortly thereafter, COVID hit. Mother of two and a wife, we often would find Zoom meetings in her car, which I can relate to because that's usually the quietest place when you have kids, you just go to the car. We had wonderful Zoom meetings, brilliant meetings of the minds. She also started a new job, and not very long after that, I'm going to exaggerate a little bit, but I swear it sounds like she's coaching 50 sports. She is here tonight after driving back from the regional track meet in Canyon. Hannah is incredible. And I know why she teaches or coaches 50 sports, and some of it is probably her expertise, but I think the majority is her organization is smart enough. They want her surrounded by everyone, because Hannah impacts everyone she is around. She impacts her students, her athletes. She is the biggest motivator, not only of the students and her peers in her class, but also of the employees that she works with. She shared with me stories of reaching out to employees that were struggling and bringing them up, which is exactly what she does in her program. She is always supportive of every course, of every assignment. You can find her introduction to say, this is going to be a great class. If you haven't been in a class before, you're going to love it. She sets the tone. She's the one student you really hope if there's group work, and yes, we have group work, Hannah's the one you want in your group. I could go on and on. She is very, very dedicated and very passionate about the people in her family, about the students that she serves, about her colleagues, about her community. And you see it in every assignment. You see it in everything she does. And so from the beginning of her program to now 2 weeks away from graduation, her work has never wavered. Never wavered. If anything, it just continues to get better, and I don't think that's even possible. She challenges at a time, from here, what she's already doing, but into her future. So Hannah, I'm so proud of you. Come on up.
Our next introduction will be done by Dr. Tia Aiken.
Thank you. So it is my pleasure to introduce the outstanding graduate student for educational leadership to Mrs. Darcy Cawley. Darcy is a fall 2021 graduate of the Master of Science in Educational Leadership degree with Texas Principal Certification, where she maintained a 4.0 GPA and passed 2 incredibly difficult state certification exams. She's currently an assistant principal in the Ballinger Independent School District, where she has successfully used her degree and her certification in her role. I'm so proud of Darcy. She was such a joy to have in the program. I loved scoring her work. She always submitted the best, most exemplar assignments. She was able to embed what we were doing and what we were learning about being an instructional leader into her role in Ballinger. And so she actually created real-world relevant artifacts that she put into practice out in the field, which made it such a joy to be able to see what she was doing with the program. And I know her superintendent's here, Mr. Buds, and I know he's as equally as proud as I am of Darcy and what she's accomplished. She's an amazing candidate, a wonderful human being, someone that you would all want to know. And I missed having you in class this semester, but I've still gotten to use her work as exemplars. She was able to give me permission to share some of her artifacts with candidates that are in the program now, to give them an example of what an end product would look like, or what it could look like out in the field. And so that's been such a blessing to be able to share that with the other candidates. So she's helping our program become even stronger post-graduation. And just a little bit about Darcy that she shared with me. She grew up in San Angelo, and her family were all proud ASU alumni. But when she graduated from high school, she wanted to spread her wings a little bit and see the world, so she went and obtained her degree from another university. But she came back to the area, started working in Ballinger, and she loved being a teacher so much. She loved her job, she loved being able to raise a family, and so that's kind of where she set her aspirations of just being the best teacher possible. But she was such a leader in Ballinger that it started to take notice. And so her principal and her superintendent, and even Dr. Stribling, knowing her from field work at Ballinger with our partnership with Ballinger ISD, encouraged Darcy to come back to get her master's degree and become principal certified so she could actually step into the leadership role officially. And so, realizing that God had bigger plans for her, Darcy went ahead and enrolled at ASU, and the best part about it is God allowed her to earn her degree and to continue raising her family, but not only just raising her family, but extending it. And she just had her 3rd child in March, and she brought her 3rd child, all of her children with her today, but she just had her last baby. Her mother-in-law's back there with her. So we are so blessed that she was able to do the program, be a working mom, a working professional, during the pandemic, while pregnant, and doing this amazing work in the program. So she truly is outstanding. And the last thing I want to share that Darcy told me about was that when she was growing up, her dad was the announcer for the Angelo State basketball games. And so as a little girl, she would get to sit at the announcer's table with her dad and be really part of the team. The coach at the time was Coach Messbarger, and he kind of made her an honorary teammate. And so all the players would high-five her and as he went out to play basketball, and she just really loved that feeling of being part of the culture here at Angelo State. And it all kind of came full circle for her, because while she was waiting in line for graduation, her line stopped right in front of a plaque that was honoring Coach Messbarger. So talk about emotion, talk about full circle moment. She realized then that God really destined her steps to be here, and she got to join her family as one of the proud Angelo State alumni. Go Rays! So please help me welcome Darcy Cawley.
Our next introduction will be done from the curriculum instruction, Dr. Twilight Tasker.
Good evening, everyone. I have the honor and pleasure of introducing you to the nominee, the Graduate Award nominee from the Master of Arts in Curriculum and Instruction, Stephanie Duncan. She is an instructional coach here in San Angelo. Many of our candidates come to our program to become an instructional coach. So throughout her program, she has been the role model. She is what many of our students hope to be. She is an exemplary student. She has been an exceptional candidate for our students who are learning to be teachers, learning to be coaches. She coaches not only all day during the day as her day job, but she coaches when she's online. In an online program, it is often very difficult to develop those relationships. You've heard it from several people here tonight. It's difficult to develop those relationships. It's difficult to engage really in those experiential activities where you can dig in and work with a group or do something that you really feel like is going to impact. Stephanie has a way of doing that. She can impact not only her classmates, but she does it with, she impacts her students all day, the teachers that she works with, and then her classmates in classes. Her capstone project that she's about to finish, she's pretty much finished with it. It's pretty amazing. Is professional learning. It's a professional learning plan and handbook that I am certain, having read through it, will make a difference in the lives of teachers in this district, and certainly as a result will impact the lives of students in this district for many, many years to come. So please help me welcome and honor Stephanie Duncan.
Our next introduction will be done from the Professional School Counseling, Dr. Leslie Cosgrave.
Hello, it's my pleasure to present Joshua Truitt for recognition as the Professional School Counseling Outstanding Student. Joshua also completed his Professional School Counseling degree and certification in December of 2021. He maintained a 4.0 GPA also throughout his courses, and as many have mentioned, that was also during the pandemic, so that's quite an accomplishment as well. Joshua obtained his current position as a school counselor while he was in the program, and he was able to provide a lot of mental health training to the staff and professional development to the staff of his school. He's inspired a lot of action through innovative techniques. He secured funding for some social emotional student check-ins, and he was able to collaborate with others to bring T-Chat, which is the Texas Child Health Access through Telemedicine Services, to his entire charter school network. In addition to his role as a school counselor, he has taken on duties as the homeless liaison, and he organized a counseling advisory committee. His school did not have a comprehensive school counseling program in place, and he has been able to implement one in his time there. His desire to become a school counselor and to be that male role model for his students is admirable, and the leadership and the innovation that he has been able to show, not only through his coursework here, but also through his schools, is the reason that he was recognized for this award, and I'm very happy to nominate and to accept on his behalf. So, Joshua Truitt.
moving to the College of Science and Engineering. Our first introduction will be done by Dr. Lori Branham with a major in agriculture.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. There we go. It's my pleasure to present this award to Madonna Bullard for the outstanding graduate student for Masters of Agriculture. Madonna came to our program and entered first into our Masters of Science program because she wanted to get some more experience, specifically in animal science. Sorry. Because she had gotten an undergrad in ag science and leadership, she was going to go into ag education, wanted to get some more focused areas in animal science. And a job opportunity came along a little earlier than she had planned, and it was the perfect opportunity for her. And she wanted to take it, so we encouraged her to do that while she finished her graduate degree. And so she switched over to the Masters of Agriculture. Madonna has successfully navigated her graduate program, maintaining an exemplary GPA of 4.0, showing her dedication to academic excellence, not only within her own transcript, but also in her pursuits and efforts as an educator herself. I've had the pleasure of working with Madonna in a variety of capacities throughout her graduate career. In each of these environments, she has shown dedication to academic excellence while juggling her full-time job as a high school agriculture science teacher. This is evident based on the quality of coursework she submits in her own courses to us as a student. And I also know she achieves this level of excellence as an educator based on the feedback from parents of the students in her classroom. You see, I'm friends with a lot of the parents of students in her classroom, but these parents don't realize that I know Madonna, both as a student and as a friend, and they brag about this new ag teacher that they have out at their school. And to me, that bragging means even more because of the anonymity of that bragging, because I know it's true. They're not just trying to build me up as a teacher, right? It's honest feedback about their teachers, because parents aren't afraid to tell you the truth, right, about their kids' teachers. And so, to me, I think you should take that as a great compliment. So with that, it's that dual academic excellence, both as a student herself and as an educator. And because of that, we're happy to recognize her as our department's Master of Agriculture Outstanding Graduate Student.
Our next introduction from the Department of Ag and for the award winner in animal science is Dr. John Keller.
I'm happy to introduce to you tonight Miss Megan Eckhart. Megan came to us from Texas Tech University, where she got her undergraduate degree. I recruited her to come be the meat shifting coach. I remember the day I called Megan to talk to her on the phone. I was sitting at San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo because I was cold and freezing and had nothing else to do. And she kind of sounded surprised on the phone that somebody was calling to talk to her about coming to recruit or to come coach a judging team. One of the best phone calls I've ever made as a faculty member. She's been a rock star since the day she stepped foot on this campus. For us, she's taught and co-taught 4 animal and food science laboratories. In addition to, we require our graduate students in the meats field to help at the meats lab and food safety and product development laboratory. So the last 2 mornings, yesterday and today, she was there at 6 a.m. as we had harvest for pigs, cattle, and also some sheep. In addition to that, she coached the 2021 and is currently coaching the 2022 Meat Science Academic Quiz Bowl teams. We go compete at a meats conference American Meat Science Association puts on. And she also coached the 2021 meat shifting team, which in and of itself is a full-time job. And then you throw in the COVID restrictions that these meat processing plants threw in on us, and it almost doubled the work for her. Additionally, she represented the university in our department as an intern at the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers and the National Cattlemen's Beef Association Cattle Raisers Convention. And at the 21 convention where she interned for the Texas Southwestern Cavalraisers, she convinced them that they need to have a graduate student poster competition. Megan's probably the most competitive person I've ever met in my life. I think I'm second, but I found somebody that beat me, but that's good. And so she competed at an event this year. She presented her research that she has back here, and she took home second place honors in that. In addition, she's also helped train and coach various 4-H and FFA beach judging teams in the local area. She's left a mark in our department. It's going to be a void that's hard to fill. She had two undergrad students came here tonight just to see her. One that was on a beach judging team and one that works with her at the meets lab. She's going to go on to West Texas A&M starting in the fall to pursue her doctorate. And of course, the first thing she has to do though is she's going to travel up to Chicago this summer and do a research and development internship with Tyson Foods. So congratulations, Megan. Thank you for all your hard work.
Next introduction is from the Department of Biology, Dr. Ben Skipper.
Well, good evening. It's my privilege to introduce Ms. Brittany Lofton, the nominee for the Outstanding Graduate Student from the Department of Biology. Brittany originally is from Lake Charles, Louisiana. She attended Louisiana Tech University, where she cut her research teeth very early on, working with many species of small bird. From Louisiana Tech, she would go on to work in wildlife rehabilitation in Wisconsin and study northern spotted owls in Northern California. She joined us at Angelo State in the fall of 2019 and quickly planned an ambitious research project that would have her traveling across New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Unfortunately, COVID-19 changed those plans somewhat in early spring of 2020. However, Brittany persevered and was able to complete her sampling across this 5-state area and complete an excellent master's thesis here at Angelo State. Along the way, she's won praise from both state organizations such as the Texas Academy of Science and also international organizations such as the Raptor Research Foundation, where she has been provided funding and recognition by these entities. Here at Angelo State, she's been a model graduate student and colleague to her fellow graduate students and has always come into the office each and every day, ready to work and with a smile on her face. Her research career won't end here at Angelo State. She's recently been accepted into the Ecology, Evolution, and Behavior doctoral program at Boise State University. We're happy to have played a part in training Brittany and preparing her for this next opportunity, and we look forward to all the great things she will do there. Brittany?
We have 4 final awards to present tonight. Each one of the nominees and the program outstanding students were nominated in one of these 4 areas, either academic excellence, community service and excellence, leadership excellence, or research excellence. And then the committee has selected one from each of those groups of nominees to receive the award. We do have a couple that are unable to attend for reasons that were discussed whenever they were introduced earlier. So our Superlative Academic Excellence Award winner from the Program of Professional Accountancy is Daniel Dixon. He's unable to attend tonight. Our nomination for and winner for the Community Service Excellence Award is from Intelligence and Analysis, Christian Ferguson. And our Superlative Award winner for Leadership Excellence is from Global Security Studies, Dennis Tukayev. Our next award winner is present with us in Research Excellence from Counseling Psychology is Anna Sneeman. Unfortunately, she didn't leave. That's fine. Yep. So, any award winner tonight, if you will make sure you come up here for a group picture here at the end. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time and coming out to support our graduate students. I think the support that you show as faculty, as mentors, is vital in their futures. As we noticed in many of them that were introduced, the extremely humbling information or the activities they've been involved in, oftentimes it makes me feel pretty inferior listening to what these students are doing while they're still going to school, and then we fuss about being busy sometimes. So I'd like one more time to congratulate each and every one of our graduate student award winners. I'd also like one more time for us to thank and recognize our College of Graduate Studies and Research and student research and our staff here in the facility for making this a tremendous evening for us. So we'll give them one more round of applause, please. That concludes the program for this evening. This will be my last one to preside over. Dr. Fixner will be here next year in order to facilitate this program. But I will tell you, it's pretty easy to facilitate when this group of ladies takes care of it for you, makes you look really good, and we have outstanding students to recognize. When you can recognize students with the accomplishments they have, the rest of the night doesn't matter. So congratulations, and let's make sure we get one last picture, get a picture of you before you leave this group. So thank you, and have a good evening. Safe trip home.